just not in the fabric of their work. Instead, educational leaders move quickly to implement untested solutions in responding to ever-changing government and foundation initiatives. Educators are constantly running from behind, seeking to keep up before the next new reform, often disconnected from the last reform, sweeps over them. Not surprisingly, the commercial sector is also lacking in this context. It responds quickly to changes in policy and funding priorities by bringing forth many new products and services, but individual firms rarely initiate and commit to the kind of sustained R&D necessary to improve schools. There is just too much market uncertainty to warrant such longer-term risk-taking. The Ruminations paper sketched a design for an R&D enterprise that would specifically focus on improving our nation's schools and colleges. In brief, the paper argued that we needed to focus on improving the actual day-to-day work in classrooms, schools, and districts, orchestrate diverse expertise among researchers, practitioners, designers, and developers to solve practical problems, embrace an approach that focused on multiple quick tests of change and iterative refinement of promising ideas, recognize that variation in organizational contexts is a core design and development challenge, rather than just some externality to be ignored. Reframe the overall mission as accelerating how a field learns to improve its core work. All of this seemed very sensible to us, yet very little research was actually organized this way. We wondered whether these ideas could actually work. And then something unexpected happened. Inspiration, seeing a complex problem through fresh eyes, arises on occasion in most unexpected ways. In the summer of 2008, we were approached by Jim Kulmus, then the executive director for the Knowledge Alliance, a Washington-based association of major applied research organizations in the United States. Some of its members had read Ruminations and were intrigued. The Knowledge Alliance invited us to present at a conference it was organizing for that December at Snowbird, Utah. It was there that we first met Donald Berwick, then president and co-founder of the Institute for Healthcare Improvement, IHI. As Don talked, we realized that this organization, which had been around for nearly 20 years, was actually living the ideas and doing the kind of work in the healthcare sector that we had been speculating about for education. Don, who was trained as a pediatrician, subsequently invited us to visit IHI to see all of this firsthand. Little did we know at the time that he had just opened a door for us to an extraordinarily high-performing organization. At the conclusion of our first visit to IHI, Don shared a copy of The Best Practice by Charles Kenny. The book offers a narrative account of the emergence of improvement research in healthcare. Over 2 decades ago, a few extraordinary leaders in healthcare recognized the challenges confronting their field. These leaders borrowed the discipline and culture of quality improvement, pioneered by Japanese industry, and then applied it to the complex enterprise that is modern healthcare. Under their influence, medical institutions have reduced harm, saved lives, and enhanced patients' experiences while also controlling costs. Their efforts to promote a system in which continuously improving is what we do here became our inspiration. At several points in Kenny's text, one could easily substitute the words teachers and students for doctors and patients and believe that this was actually a discourse about education. We were convinced that if those in healthcare could learn useful lessons from studying industrial quality improvement, there was a good chance that educators could learn something in turn from them. So we became serious students of IHI, how it organized its work and why and how it had come to do so as it did. IHI generously opened its doors to us. We have participated in several of its professional training programs. Its staff and associates have been our mentors, as we sought to adapt to education many of the principles, tools, and routines of improvement science that have been so successfully deployed in healthcare. Along the way, I, Tony, had the privilege of being invited to serve on an Institute of Medicine committee. Through these discussions, I came to understand better why leaders in this field were seeking to promote a more dynamic and vigorous learning to improve healthcare system. The medical field attracts bright, well-trained professionals.